Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Come on, big money, no whammies. Pino, you're not a power-up. Be dead down here. Anyway, welcome back everybody. This is your Jet City Woman, coming at you live from the sunny Pacific Northwest. Go Moon! I love these guys, I hope they make it. But wait a minute, cows don't get to go Moon. They have to jump. So yes, we have returned to Five Nights at Heady's, and it just wouldn't be a treasure platformer from this period without a strange side-scrolling shooter out of nowhere. But as usual for treasure, it's quite a well-executed one. And you have three choices of head aerial device here. There was the plane, which was a three-way shot as you saw, and could also shoot backwards, which is unique to it. And here we have the bird, which just kind of spews out chicks from its mouth, which I don't think is how that's supposed to work. They are affected by gravity, so that's a bit of a disadvantage, but at least you're always shooting forward. And this claw machine here is gonna bring us up a mid-boss. Kind of a pain in the ass one, too. Meet Battleship number 6. Has some cannons up top, which can be destroyed. And it has a mouthpiece here, which shoots some creepy-looking snowman comet thing that I don't know what to make of. And you can destroy the mouth bay that launches those snowman whatever they are. A little bit difficult to do, and as you can probably tell by the way the pilot freaks out when I do it, you damage the battleship itself by attacking the claw, which is actually the only thing holding it aloft. Notice all the don't fly signs. You're not the boss of me, background elements. So yeah, since my last update in which I mentioned I was going to be doing a cross-country move, I have done so. I am now settled into the Seattle metro area, just a little north of the city proper. And so far it's pretty cool. I like my new neighborhood. I like living in a somewhat more modern facility as opposed to the 1900 house that I was in back in Pittsburgh. And I like just living in a slightly more up-to-date kind of city. Pittsburgh's a little old-fashioned. And it's nice living closer to friends as well, which is the main reason I moved out this way. I am, however, unemployed, which is the downside, and I grant it is a fairly major downside. But, I'm sure the whole job hunt thing will work out eventually. In the meantime, who knows, maybe I'll do a Patreon or stream support or something. But before that, we have another mid-boss, and it's Maruyama showing up again. As he likes to do. And this form of Maruyama is called Chris Wheel. The wheel part is obvious, but I don't know why it's named Chris. Hi, Chris. It likes to just wheel its way through the background, shooting homing projectiles at you. And every now and then it moves into the foreground like so, and that's your chance to attack Maruyama's head, while he shoots little sunbursts at you and occasionally deploys things that roll across the ceiling, and if you don't destroy either the top or bottom one, they will shoot out an electric barrier to impede your flying. I'm taking a lot of unnecessary hits here, I'm just having a bit of an off day, I suppose. But whenever Maruyama is kinda hugging the left side, I like to get in there and do damage, but the close proximity also makes it harder to dodge his sunburst things. At least his head inclines a little bit to give you a warning when he's about to shoot one. Also, I picked up the bird here to demo it for you, the internet, and it is not my preferred weapon for the flying segments. Usually I take the rocket and just use it the whole way, but we have not had an opportunity to pick up the rocket at all yet. I picked up the plane and the bird, just to demo them, and it hasn't since given me a rocket, and it appears I'm going to die. There you see what happens if you do not stop the little rolling droid things fast enough, they put up an electric barrier in your way. I am really kind of circling the drain here. Needless to say, I won't be winning this time. That's better. You know you've won when Chris Wheel stops shooting anything at you. It's about to run into a stop sign. Oh, Maruyama. And along we go to Light Velocity, which, as the name implies, is a faster side-view shooting section. And aside from the boss fight, it's going to be the last of the lot. Nothing too crazy about this one, aside from the fact that it scrolls vertically. There's lots of walls and electric barriers and obstacles to avoid, and there's the rocket. This is my preferred flying head. As you can see, it shoots a laser straight forward, which is very nice for concentrated rapid fire. There is a downside to the rocket head, which is that it increases your speed quite a bit, which is awkward for this stage in particular, because moving extra fast means, well, it's very easy to smack yourself into things, particularly the walls and electricity. But we'll make do. My health is not good, but I shouldn't have to repeat this section at all. Little spidery guys, as you might have guessed from the clinky sound effect when I hit them, are not destroyable. And now it's time for the boss fights. We get a couple of power-up opportunities to make sure we can select our head of choice for this section. Babu! Alright, let's play. Alright, disturbing enormous baby head. In the US version, this guy was known simply as Babyface. I'm not entirely positive of his Japanese name. I think it's Mitsumi, but if it's not Mitsumi, it's some other Japanese name that sounds a lot like Mitsumi. As you can see, he just kind of drifts around shooting baby Earps at you. But you do enough damage and he splits open Matryoshka doll style and becomes a somewhat older lad who tries to concho you with his disembodied finger, which then proceeds to shoot lightning in several directions, all of the cardinal directions and diagonals except for straight down. And he always shoots the finger straight up at where you happen to be, so you want to make sure when the new finger's about to come out, you stay on the move. Yeah, this is going to be another loser attempt for me.
Look at me. I have a big head. My head is huge. What do you think, Zorak?
Big head, big head, big fat head.
I have a big head. I'm having a big head day. How's your big head day, kids?
Big fat head day.
Shut up, Bug.
Alright, back to the second stage. I do not desire your giant concho. Now granted, Headdy being a scrap puppet is probably not modeled in such detail as to have an actual sphincter, but still a good poke in the area I'm sure would not be comfortable, so we'll try and spare him that. And our boss there, you notice whenever he gets to an edge, he kind of pops up a little into the air before heading in the other direction. So you do have to be wary of that so as not to barrel into him. But no more worries about that. We're moving on to the next stage. And our young man has become a fine adult. This time he's just going to fire a spread laser and a direct laser at us while moving a big old Puppet Hero Headdy banner into the foreground to obstruct our vision. He kind of tries to shoot the straight laser directly at you, but does not have very good aim. Tends to go a little bit downward relative to your actual location. I guess they just don't have the Headdy's location detection program too well there. Hey, Foxy Grandpa! I'm just gonna kinda let him grab me, which is the only thing he tries to do. And if he succeeds in grabbing you... well, he promptly dies of old age. And that does count as a victory, but just like Naked Snake and the End, we want to give him a true final battle. One that, you know, he can have his last great hurrah and leave the world with no regrets. So we're going to try and dodge that gripping hand there and just continue to wear down the little bit that remains of his health. That was a close one. And at the innermost layer is Beano for some reason.
You've got a secret bonus point.
So that's our secret bonus point for this boss fight. And that's that for this stage. That is the last we'll be seeing of the flight heads. They come into play in this stage and nowhere else.
Yes.
Thank you.
We get the usual routine with Fingy, and I believe this is the last of them. I think that accounts for all of the keys. So what happens next? We go to Paradise, apparently. Oh, it is a very nice environment. Peaceful place. Cows and birds and what have you. Hey, you're not a cow.
You've got a secret bonus point.
No imposters allowed in Paradise.
You've got a secret
And that
bonus
sort of
point.
derpy bird is the other secret bonus point here. And who's this now? Huh. So this is where Dark Demon's castle is located, but this kimono lady here seems to be trying to distract us away. So, this is Yayoi. And she just tries to whack you with her sleeves. I'm being very careless about dodging them. And the idea here is you just have to make her show that hole in her backpack so that Fingy can chuck a key into it. And if she misses with the key, it just bounces off and she'll have to go retrieve it. So you don't have to worry about losing them permanently or anything. I'm being very careless here. It's actually quite easy to go through this without taking any hits, but you know, I'm recording, so that of course means I'm going to play very poorly. Now that all of the keys are in the backpack there, the lovely paradise background begins to fall away. I am not controlling there, you don't have to worry about being hit by the panes of glass. And so that's what the whole Keymaster business was for. They were protecting the castle and keeping it hidden behind the paradise backdrop. Welp. And here we have Izayoi. I'm not sure whether she's another personality of Yayoi or someone else entirely. Yeah, she likes to drop firebombs at you every now and then, which is what causes her to reveal her face. You hit her in the face and she tries to claw you 5 times, which is very difficult to dodge all of. And between that, she will try and smack you with one claw and then the other usually. You have to be very careful you do not hit Fingy, because that will cause you damage. And you will always be hurt if you hit Fingy, even if you are in hit stun or if you have an empty head. And it is possible to get an empty head here, because if you have her claws go off the screen, the empty claw will sometimes bring back either Beano, which is how you get him and get your secret bonus point, or a head case. Oh, and by the way, you do have to avoid her claw swinging around when she's jumping. So the easiest way to do this is just to get an empty head as often as you can, and just get your hits in, and then not worry about the rapid-fire claw retaliation. However, the risk here is that the head case that contains the empty head will also contain a Buddha head. And I am kind of at the mercy of that right now. And then if the claw with the head case goes off the screen again, she will leave the head case behind, so you have to get her to bring in another one, which may not be the one with the empty head. There's another one with a hammer head, as you can see, which is good for doing extra damage to her. That's pretty much it. If you time your jumps after getting a hit in, then you can get her claw to keep going high. But that didn't work out for me, so we get to see the game over screen. If you have continues, you can just select try again, get a let's go ahead, and off we go. Finally. Yayoi and Izayoi, I would say, are probably the second hardest boss fight in the game. We will be running up on the most difficult one fairly soon, but that remains to be seen. And one other thing, that is another of the characters that was completely changed from the Japanese version. In the Western versions, she was changed into a robot. So that seems to be a theme here. If the international branches of Sega don't like the look of something for the international market, they just change it into a robot. And Mariyama still wants a piece of us. Guess we've got a little purple stalker. Here in the stage simply named Fight, we have to deal with giant rockets being periodically launched. There will be a little alarm, as you could hear, before they do, and there are two ways to get around that. You can either use the shrunken head, or use the spiked head to cling to the ceiling. But unless you have the shrunken head, you are not short enough, even when ducking, to use those little gaps to hide yourself in. In the spike head, you just have to rapid-fire cling to the ceiling, as you saw me fail to do there. I'll be using the spike head a lot, because to get a secret bonus point on this stage, you have to collect all of the 500-point bonuses. And there, that's how it's supposed to work. Other than the giant rockets, nothing much to this level, just a bunch of Dark Demon soldiers. Yeah, it's tricky to stay out of harm's way using the spike head, because you have to really jam on the attack button to keep yourself above the danger zone. Yeah, apparently even the very last little bit of the rocket exhaust does have a hitbox. Who knew? And here we have the base commander, who is our next mid-boss. And he's the guy launching off all those rockets at us. So you just have to keep hitting him and destroy his launch platform there. And in the same way, just use the shrunken head or the spike head and keep yourself from getting hit by the missiles and taking an excessive amount of damage. Straightforward, if not necessarily easy. And when we destroy him, those guys you see leading the cheering section up top are going to fall down, and I need to hit one of them, anyone will do, for a secret bonus point.
You've got a secret bonus point.
Ooh, Radical Party. That's my favorite kind. These little kind of sidestepping guys, I don't know what they're supposed to be. If you hit them, they turn into a statue, and if you do that while they're over those down-pointing platform arrow things, they will bring them down with their weight. Best game? I don't know about that, Treasure. I mean, Dynamite Headdy's a very good game, but I think you're patting yourself on the back a little too hard there. Here's another mid-boss that inexplicably gets his own music. And you have to hit the numbered weights into him to damage him.
You've got a secret bonus point.
But that heart will give him health back if you hit him into it. Or hit it into him, rather. But you get a secret bonus point, as you just heard, by restoring his health a few times. So it's a good idea to do that before you do any damage to him. This boss, by the way, is named Taro. In the Western versions, they just added an extra T to the end of that and made it Taro, like the cards. But the higher numbered weights, the highest of which is that 8, which you can barely see because it's tiny, the higher the number, the more damage it does. So, for whatever reason, the tiniest weight is the one that hurts him most. I guess they just made it the smallest one, so it was the hardest to hit him with. And all he does is drift around on his rope and occasionally send out his orbiting objects to hit you. There's a hangman there, which is pretty useless. A head case, which does have a sleepy head that you can use to restore your health during the fight if you need to. Do enough damage and the head case just starts to drift around, and Taro begins to use the outside of his sun body to swing around at you and send across the floor like so. But on the bright side, you can now attack him directly. You don't have to rely on gimmick boss methods anymore. His completely denuded cyborg face is kind of creepy, though. And you just gotta whack him one more time once he loses his rope, and that is that. Just gonna make sure my health is topped up here, and on we go. Oh yeah, I'll have to retrieve the spike head here to actually climb out of Taro's pit. And up this way. These Venus flytrap things, you have to wait until their head is up top, and then hit their body. Otherwise, they will eat your head and spit it back at you for damage. Also, you generally want to avoid those don't shoot blocks, because hitting them will force a Buddha head onto you. But the very last one here, before the hangman section... no, actually, that's not the right one. Never mind. We just have a lengthy hangman section here that you kind of have to grapple your way across. Hidden area at the bottom here with the 1-up in it. And a hot dog Twinkie thing should you need the health. Which, given the damage caused by the spikes there and the trickiness of this section, you very likely will. Oh, and I always forget you can stand on those scarecrows bolted to the wall. Now then, as I was saying, if you hit the very last of the don't shoots in the ceiling, you will not get a Buddha head, but a secret bonus point. And here in Reverse World, we can switch gravity by hitting these floating propeller jobbies. There's another secret bonus point here, if we destroy 3 shots from these top hat fellas. And so the idea here in Reverse World is just to make careful use of the movable blocks and the gravity reversal devices to make your way through the geography of the level. As you can see, those shooting top hat guys are only really active when the world is upside down. And there we just need to use gravity to bring that gate down. Bit of a simple puzzle here. We just have to position the blocks so that we can climb out when the gate is dropped. Just like that. Here's another mid-boss, nothing too difficult. Once again, we're using weights to hit him with and cause him harm, because we cannot harm him with direct shots from our noggin. In this case, I believe the heavier weights are more logically the larger ones, so you want to drop the big ball on him whenever possible. You just use gravity to drop them on his head, and if you need to, you can attack the balls with your head to move them around, but this is slow and awkward, so I usually don't bother. nice portraits of Dark Demon in the background there that become animated when the world reverses. Don't know how exactly that works, but it's a nice touch. Oh, Funny Angry. This is where we meet the hardest boss in the game that I previously mentioned, Riverface, or as he is known in the Western versions, Twin Freaks. Now, this guy you need to whack right in the ear to damage him. And the problem is he keeps moving forward on you, and it is, as he says, a death race. So he keeps moving forward on you, and you cannot damage him when the gravity is reversed. However, he will become pissed off looking and move forward at a much faster rate. Now eventually, we will come to a bend, sort of a bent tunnel in the geography that is very difficult to get through without getting yourself crushed against either Riverface or the auto-scroll. So, what you really want to try and do here is kill Riverface before we get to that bend in the path. And if you don't get the hammerhead right there, that is incredibly hard to do. Since I did not get the hammerhead, I'm going to die here. Also, one other thing, occasionally, instead of the little Q-bird or onion head things, he will shoot from his ears a Beano head. And that Beano head is how you get a secret bonus point during this boss fight. But that is easier said than done because the appearance of the Beano head is, as far as I can tell, random. So sometimes you'll get it during the normal course of the boss fight, sometimes you will have to wait around for it to show up, and you really can't afford to wait around here. Also, I should note that Riverface had his health greatly reduced, I think almost cut in half in the US and other Western versions. So he is the one boss that was actually made easier outside of Japan. Oh, here's the bend, and here's where I'm gonna die. Yeah, there you can see how big a difference successfully grabbing the hammer in passing is, because just killing him before you get to that bend just greatly increases your chances of getting through this boss fight alive. And the Beano head did not show up for me, and I am not going to sit around and hope it shows up, so that is why I missed a secret bonus point for this stage. Oh well. The important thing is we've defeated Riverface, and it is all downhill from here. The end boss is non-trivial, but he's not going to be as hard as that.
Yes.
And I think that's a good point to leave off for the day. So, as always, I thank you for watching, and for bearing with me during the delay caused by my moving across North America. It should be quite a bit sooner that I'm back next time, so I look forward to seeing you then. In the meantime, take care. This is signing off.